Good evening, classmates. My name is Claudia Collantes, and I would like to share with you why I'm now back in school at 35 years old. It is never too late to be where you might have been. This is a quote by George Eliot. So, as a 35-year-old, I decided to finish school and finally get my degree. I have many years of schooling, including med school when I first finished high school, EMT when I moved to Miami, and after traveling, working, and learning many different skills and many ups and downs throughout my life, I am happy to say that I'm very proud and that I am back in school and close to graduate and get my psychology degree. So today I would like to share many of the pivoting moments in my journey that led me to where I am now and shaped me to make this decision. I'll be sharing a little bit about my past learning experiences, academic, social, and spiritual, that have made me the person I am today. So, first, I would like to tell you a little bit about my academic background. So, when I first finished high school, I was still living in Peru. I was 16 years old. I was a good student, so I was able to get into one of the best universities in Lima, where I grew up, and I got accepted into med school. I really loved learning about the human body. It was so fascinating to me to learn how the body works, the physiology, and going to the labs and experimenting and doing research, working on cadavers. After 3 years of pre-med studies, where I learned a lot, I went into clinical studies. So my first rotation was OBGYN, which was fascinating. I was even able to assist in the birth of a child. It was the most wonderful experience in my life. Uh, However, also while working in the hospital environment, I got to see firsthand the bureaucracy of the medical system, its laws, regulations. So I became really disappointed of what I thought was such an old noble career. I realized that the system wasn't very much interested in taking care of people, but it was more about making money and making profit. So it was disappointing to me. So I decided to take a semester off, and I came to Miami to visit some family and to relax and not think about school after working, studying really hard for many years, almost 4 years. So during that time, when I was in Miami, I enrolled in Miami-Dade and studied to become an EMT. So after a few years, I got to work for the City of Miami Rescue. And that experience made me resilient, made me really brave, mature, quick to respond in emergency situations, skills that I cherish today. But then again, that life took a toll on me because it was like such an emotional roller coaster. There will be days that will save people, but there will also be days that will lose people. So after all that experiences, I decided to take a little break and take it easy for a bit. So I was still pretty young. I was 23 years old. So I started working in the hospitality industry, which was really fun. I was very lucky to be able to work in a high-end restaurant. So I work as a bartender, and it was very stress-free job because when my shift was over, I didn't have to carry over deadlines or stress. When my job was done, I was done. And you'll really be impressed how much you can learn, how much psychology you can learn by working behind a busy bar. So that was most of my academic background. So now let me tell you about some other skills that I picked up along the way. Since I was working in a relatively stress-free job and while making good money, I was able to take lots of time off. So I started traveling. Every year, I would make it a point to go back to Peru to visit my grandma who still lived there, but also go visit another country. So I've traveled to Brazil, Ecuador, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Mexico, a lot of places in Latin America, also to Europe, France, Spain, the Netherlands, Belgium, the UK. So by having the opportunity to travel and experience different cultures, it really opened my eyes and opened my mind. However, one of my most amazing travels was back in Peru, my own country where I grew up, because I rediscovered so much of my own culture and my roots by visiting small little remote towns that while living in Peru, I lived in Lima, I lived in the city, so I really never cared to visit like the small little rural towns until I had left and gone back. And one of these travels, I was able to live with a native tribe deep in the Amazon for a few months, and I was able to learn from their ancestral wisdom, plants, spirituality, the way they connect to nature, which made me a whole lot more appreciative and grateful of the life I had. So after this trip back in 2012, I dove really deep into spirituality, and I became a yoga teacher, a Reiki master, and a certified herbalist. I also got back in touch with my artistic side and developed many musical talents. I read books about spirituality, ancient wisdom, self-development, just for the joy of learning and better understanding myself and the world around me, which I like to think helped me become a better person, more loving to my friends, more understanding to my family and my community. So to recap, I would like to say again that I am very, very happy and I feel very grateful to where I am now and how my life came to be. I know that in the eyes of many people, I might have taken too long or too many detours because by 35 you should already have a stable job and be married and have all these goals or all this career. But I feel that the most important thing in life is to be happy and to really feel fulfilled with what you do. So I wouldn't have it any other way. I am very grateful because now I can take a step back and see that all the little pieces that I picked up along the way in my journey, like the med school and learning about the body and EMT, facing emergency situations, and then working behind the bar and learning about people and social environments, it has taken me to where I am now, and that will be make me a better person and better understanding and a better space holder for people that is going through their own experience. So it is never too late to be who you're meant to be. And I feel that every experience in my life makes total sense now, and it has all been a preparation so I can offer all my skills to the world. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great weekend.